Okay, without further delay, we are back with MiniSebrango and Super Mega Dav. Take it away and let us know what you'll be playing today.
Hi everybody, hope everything is fine. Today we are going to play Goliath Depot, and I'm with the dev, so Super Mega Dev, that solo dev this game. So I think he should be alright to comment on this game.
I don't know. I don't think I ever played this game. No, but seriously, I'm very grateful to be able to be on commentary. Thank you for asking me. So as Miniseb said, I'm the developer of this game. So I'm gonna say first, like it's kind of broken, but it's unbroken because like there's a lot of speedrun strats. So very excited to watch your run.
Yeah, I'll just explain fastly what is the run. We have 4 worlds, so I'll go through all the 4, so 40 levels. I go one by one for marathon safety. I could go arcade mode and do all 4s, but for marathon I'll do one each world individually. They have each 10 levels, we'll go fast, and that's about it. With the dash.
So yeah, let us know when you're ready. We're gonna be doing a countdown. So in 3, 2, 1, and go. Awesome. So yeah, so we just briefly saw that we have an option for 6 different power-ups. The one that we're going to be using is dash. The reason is when you're dashing, first you can go through the enemy. You're invincible while dashing, but also there's an exploit. I'm going to explain it a little bit later, but first I'm going to explain what the game is about because it goes very fast. So basically, I'm very obsessed with Hotel Mario, if you know that game. So Hotel Mario, the goal is to close all the doors. I was a speedrunner of that game, and I asked myself one day, can I make this game? Can I make a good version of a Hotel Mario? So it all started with that. So as Miniseb is clearing every level very fast, you got those blue doors, and the goal is to close every single door in the level. And when you close the door, you have a beam that will go on each side of the door, and the beam is going to be your weapon. So you are vulnerable to all the enemies except when you use the door to close it on the enemies, and they're going to be turning blue. And when they're blue, you can kick them away. So a little bit like Pac-Man, for instance. So the way the levels are designed is very speedrun oriented. So usually, like you start in a spot on the screen, and you're free to select which route you want to go. If you want to start left, right, you want to go up, it's up to you. And with the dashing, what's nice about it, like I explained a little bit earlier, there's an exploit that when you dash, at the end of your dash, you got a coyote jump. You got 6 frames in order to jump again. So with that, you can infinitely jump in the air. I'm gonna say it's not planned. It's not something that I coded in the game, but speedrunners like MiniSeb and others on the leaderboard, they found out that strategy, and they exploited to save a little bit more time. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna leave it there. It's pretty fun. People are having fun, and it makes for a bigger ceiling. So yeah, so that's the bit like I would say like the goal of the game. We got 10 levels, so the first 10 levels per world. So the first world is the warehouse. So pretty basic. I like to call it the eclectic world. So it's just run and jump. You got some moving platforms, some ladders, some regular Goomba-like enemies. And when we're gonna be doing the other worlds, you're gonna see that we introduced a lot of other mechanics that will complement the theme of the worlds. And at the end of each world, you got a boss fight. So here, it's an intentional death. Every time you close all the doors, you need to go back to the exit in order to exit the level. So by taking damage, you can warp back much faster. And the way the boss works, it's exactly the same thing. You gotta use the doors in order to kill the boss. It went so fast, I was not able to explain. So the beam will hurt the boss. You got this health bar, and every time you close the door, you try to aim it at the boss. And each boss like have different patterns. Like this one, we only saw like I think 2 patterns out of 3, but it usually goes a little bit longer. So already we are in the second world, the factory. The factory has more rhythmic mechanics. So you got like the fire bars at the top. You're gonna have crushers. You're gonna have the clock, for instance. Here, a little Easter egg. When you start the level, the clock is synced with the time of your computer. So let's say you start this level at 3:15. the big bar is going to be at 15 and the small bar is going to be at 3. So there is a time span which is better to speedrun this level, otherwise the bar is in your way whenever you start it. So a nice little Easter egg just to annoy a little bit my speedrunner friends.
Yeah, I think 8 p.m. is a good time.
8 p.m. is the best time. There you go. One thing that you don't see MiniSeb doing is going for coins. Like there are 8 coins per level. Coins will... there are 2 purposes for the coins. The first purpose is that if you game over in a world, you choose to either spend your coins to continue your game, just like an arcade machine, or like you discard your coins, or you restart and you keep your coin in your purse, and that way like you can spend your coins on the main menu to buy the power-ups. So it's like risk and reward. Either I try to keep them and buy the double jump or the dash, or I discard them and I continue my game in order to beat the level. So it's up to you. So we are halfway in the second world. We see the Crusher. A big shout out to Zerolac Gaming who did the soundtrack. He's also a speedrunner. And for this level, for instance, we did a rhythmic, the Crusher are on the bass drum. So every time there's a bass drum, the Crusher goes down. So a very cool little Easter egg. And we saw a nice little example of the infinite jump with the dash instead of using the spring to go back up. MiniSeb used the infinite jump in order to go back up faster. Yeah, don't blink, huh? It's we're almost already halfway there, and yeah. So I'm gonna say like this, like I said earlier, like this game has been designed for speedruns in mind. Like I'm a speedrunner myself. I speedrun for like many years. So when I started designing this, I tried to think of what would be my ideal speedrun. So there's little to no RNG in there. When there's RNG involved, it's usually predictable. We're gonna see an example for the World 3 boss fight. Other than that, it's very generous in terms of continues, in terms of like finishing runs, because it's super short. So I tried to put as many quality of life speedrun features, I would say, in this game as possible. So Mr. Magnet is the second boss. There's 2 phases to Mr. Magnet. The first phase is Mr. Magnet itself, and you hurt him by closing the door and he spawned projectile. And the second phase is Mrs. Magnet, his wife, his beloved wife. So what you have to do with Mrs. Magnet, there are enemies that spawn, and if you leave them on the screen, they're gonna turn into health points for Mr. Magnet. So if you're not careful and you leave the enemies on the playfield, he's gonna reel, and you're gonna have a hard time because it's gonna be very long to beat Mr. Magnet. And just like that, we're halfway there. We're gonna go to World 3 Parking Lot. So I didn't talk about the story of this game because it's very goofy and doesn't take itself seriously, but we're literally walking from the Goliath Depot, which is a Home Depot parody, to the headquarters of the Goliath Corporations to warn the CEO of all the evil doors that spawn in the level. Like I said, I don't take this very seriously. It's just a fun, goofy arcade game, and that's what we like. So yeah, so for the parking lot, most of the gimmicks in this is crumbling. Like you saw in the first level, the tiles were crumbling. Here you got the icicles that are going to be crumbling if you... nice little showcase here of the infinite jump. So if you walk under the projectile, they're gonna crumble and go down. They can only hurt you when they turn red, so that's important. Unless they are upside down, like the one that are standing on the floor, they're gonna hurt you if you fall on them. There's no ice physics in that. Just to be clear, I hate ice physics, and I think everybody hates that. I don't know if you like that, MiniSeb, ice physics, but
usually not. No, I avoid
usually
them.
Not. So yeah, so there's no ice physics. I chose to go with a more of a destructible environment for the gimmicks of the parking lot, to be a little bit less annoying. Yeah, we didn't see it, but the Yeti, they can freeze the door, and if they freeze the window at the top of the screen, it can be very annoying, like to go back and try to break them because you automatically slide on the railing. Another little gimmick here, you got the on-off switch. Those are like eaters with fans, and when they're red, they hurt you, and they can push you up if you're not careful. You can also use them like to go up, so These levels, like Miniseb is going fast because he knows the route, but these levels are made more like puzzles because there's a specific route in mind that you have to do in this level, and if you don't know it, like you might go in circle for a little bit. And like I said earlier, this is a very arcade game, so there's a timer, there's coins, it's very arcade oriented. With a high score, there's also leaderboard online. So if you want to speedrun that and you don't have a capture, you just want to like speedrun it, you can. It automatically submit your time to the Steam leaderboards, so you can compare to with other speedrunners of this game. So MiniSeb here is trying to do the infinite jump to get the window, while the Yeti was very close. Well done, well done. And just like that, boss of World 3, the snowplow. So it was like Quebec in like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. We had snow like not so long ago. So this is like the only RNG spot of the boss fights, I would say, except the last boss. The last boss has RNG patterns, but this one, the snowplow is gonna go towards a spot where there's an open door. So you can actually kind of like figure out where he's gonna spawn next by leaving a door open. So that way you can control like what you want to do on the level. And the main gimmick on this is that every 3 patterns, the level layout is gonna be changing. So we saw it changed once, and now it goes to a brand new level layout with another pattern. So the levels is changing as you go. So there was one more hit, and there you go. You killed him almost off screen on that one. So nice, parking lot is done. So very fast-paced game, very short too. It's a game available on Steam. Just as a small parenthesis, it's not available on console yet, but you can buy it on Steam if you'd like to compare with other speedrunners. Right now, I think the world record is 12:59, if I recall, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, 12:59 by Moly Man. So the last world, the headquarters, so we're finally there. Our little guy, superhero guy, has reached the headquarters. So the main gimmick of the 4th world is that there's a security camera with a big giant laser that's gonna sweep the screen every time you do 6 action on the screen. So an action is closing a door, kicking an enemy, or reopening a door. So every time you do that, there's a security meter at the top of the screen that's gonna go up 1. And if you reach the 6th one, a big laser is gonna sweep the screen. And one mechanic that we rarely see with speedruns is that you can hide in door. So when you enter a door, you're invincible. So you can hide there, let the laser go away, and then like you continue. But with the dash, what's nice is that you can dash through it. So this is very powerful, like power-ups for this world. But yeah, a nice little level inspired by one of my all-time favorites in the arcade cabinets, Crazy Kong. We can't say the name because I'm gonna get sued. No, I'm kidding. It's obviously a Donkey Kong Easter egg right there. And then we're moving on to the second half of the world, which has upside-down mechanics. So half of the screen goes upside down. Like you play like normally, but you gotta change the way like you interact with the ladders and the way like you fall down with the gravity. So it can be pretty hard to get the hang of the first time you play for sure. Nice. So another one right there. We're gonna almost at the end, almost the last level already. We're gonna get like the last few doors, and yeah. What else? I spoke too much, but if you have things to add, MiniSeb, go ahead.
We're playing at normals right now. There's the hard mode, and for sure it is hard. It's not just for the name. It is a hard mode. There's more enemies, less time. There's a leaderboard for that as well, so it's fun to run. But yep.
Yeah, the skill ceiling is like you're not gonna have an easy time the first time, but I think that's the spirit of arcade games, like old arcade games. And if you're very good at the game, there's also a randomizer mode, like built-in randomizer. So we are at the final boss, Mr. Goliath. So the big gimmick of Mr. Goliath is that just like a real boss in an office, he's not really trying to hit you. He's literally just like calling out people and trying to chase you around. So and he's also like asking others like to help him. Like right now, he has a very friendly pattern. He's not calling out his friends. Okay, he's gonna call out one of his friends right there. So he's taking the cell phone, 1-800 Goliath. So he's spawning some enemies. He can also spawn boss fights. So this is one of the RNG spot I would say in the game. So he had a very friendly pattern this time around. So that's it. Is it over? No, it's not over yet. We have a second phase. Of course, a good game needs to end with a chase sequence, right?
Exactly. It's time to escape before everything explodes.
Exactly, let's go. So with the dash, it's very powerful. You can go very fast. So here we changed the rule of the game a little bit. The camera actually scrolls, so you can move around like a Super Mario Brothers level. And there's a big giant door, and there go time. So we got a 14. I don't have the time, but it's close to 14:30.
Yeah, I have a 14:41 on my split.
Awesome, GG. That went really fast. Any comments on your run? Are you happy with the results?
Yep, pretty much. That's what I thought. I was aiming around that. I put a 20-minute estimate because we never know if we game over or anything. But that's pretty around what I was looking for. The leaderboards are on in the game, so it's fun. And I had something else, but I forgot. But yeah, it's a good game. Oh yeah, it's around 2 hours if you do just a casual game playthrough. But there's a lot of achievements if you want to grind, and if you want to grind the leaderboard as well. So I think it took me about 20 hours to get the 100% on the Steam achievements, but there's as well achievements inside the game.
Yep, and like the category you did, all worlds. Usually we do arcade mode. The big difference is that like between each world, you have your lives back, and so like in arcade mode you have 3 lives, and you have to do the entire game with 3 lives. You can gain lives with points and all, but it's the same lives for every. So in marathon, it's not very safe. So that was a wise choice, I think, to go with the all worlds category.
Yeah, if you die in arcade mode, you start from the beginning, except if you have enough coins for continue. But yeah, with all worlds it was a safer route.
Awesome. And like final thing, the game is available on Steam right now. It's not available on console. It's cheap. It's like $6.99 US dollars, and we're currently trying to work on console ports. So stay tuned. Like I said, I'm a developer. I'm a solo dev, so I'm working on that on my free time and trying to make a good game, I would say, with the new updates and new quality of life improvements.
Well, it definitely looks like an awesome game. I'm certainly going to be looking into it. And on the topic of that, we had an $8.99 donation, specifically $8.99 Canadian, from Malcrio saying donating $8.99 Canadian, which happens to be the price of Goliath Depot on Steam in Canada. Just saying, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So for anyone who enjoyed this run, definitely go check it out and support this great game. And thank you very much for that awesome run and showcasing such a cool game. And appreciate you doing comms. That's so cool to hear from developer side of things. And yeah, we will be getting ready with our next run of Ninja Gaiden Shadow, which an incentive was met for. So don't go anywhere, folks, and stay tuned for more runs.
Awesome. Thank you.